Hey everyone, welcome back to Crypto Cash. Thanks again for joining me here. Hope you're having a phenomenal day. We're taking a quick look here again at Near Protocol. I know my community is doing pretty well today, and it's hard not to, honestly, when the market does really well. But we also kicked some serious tail in our premium group here. So my swing trades here, just to clarify, we took some Solana profits, 127% in 1 month. That's nice. Love to see that. Definitely awesome. But I'm more excited about this Near Protocol. 4 out of 5 profit targets achieved, 73% in 19 hours. That's pretty good for a 6x leverage trade. And again, we got some VeChain profits there at 36% in 12 hours too. So again, all in all, very, very good. And what I want to do is just kind of show you the trade here. We got 3 entry targets and 5 profit targets. We set our profit targets specifically based on Fibonacci levels just below. So if you see this 4th target here, the one we just took profit on, $2.94. If you look at that on the charts, that is just below this key level here, 1.618 Fib. Okay. So I got the question this morning, how did you set your entry targets so well? Most of them are just below these key fib levels to ensure that we understand where they're going to go next. Okay. Again, it's common for the price to retrace at these points. Once more, if you're not familiar with Fibonacci, get familiar because the Fibonacci levels are extremely important. But what I want to get at is 0.618, 1.618, 2.618. Those are the most consistent retracement zones in cryptocurrency, or just in trading in general, right? But crypto specifically. So we'll redraw our new fibs here. We're going to take a look at some liquidity and kind of see roughly what could happen here next, or potential pullback, generally what that might look like too, right? So let's quickly look at the volume and just kind of see what's going on. Oh, also to our newer community members, just to quickly clarify, because it's easier for me to instruct this in the video sometimes. Check the signals guide section so you understand how the signals work. As well as the Telegram accounts and understanding the signals, is Cornish required? Like there's a lot of things you want to kind of familiarize yourself with and make sure you understand specifically before you just jump into those trades, right? Because you shouldn't day trade a swing trade, you shouldn't swing trade a day trade, never turn a day trade into a swing trade, some things like that I like to cover in that channel. So again, we got plenty of resources for you. Make sure you utilize that and do not squander that. That said, let's take a look here. And as I mentioned yesterday, there was a heavy concentration of liquidation at this level here at about 248. Now we got in at 236, 238, somewhere in that range, and the price action inevitably broke through that level. I wasn't expecting to hit these targets this soon. Granted, Bitcoin taking off helps a lot, but this coin was ready to take off regardless. Again, a lot of liquidation here in this range here that we saw, and we took entry right down here in the 235 to 240 range, okay? So again, awesome stuff there. Happy that worked out well. But what we want to talk about next is, where's it going to go next? Okay, because again, there's not a lot of liquidity left for that to be swept. There's going to be some late shorts, of course, but generally speaking, that's not like all that big of a target for the whales now that they've destroyed the shorts. Okay, so that having been said, the daily time frame hasn't changed much, except for the fact that we officially converged here today. We are on the horizon for a convergence yesterday. We can also note as well that the money flow index and the RSI are coming up. We broke through 70 on the RSI. That's extremely good sign. We have our second swing on stochastic. Always honor the second shift in momentum on stochastic RSI. And what I can talk a little bit more about that later, but it's just one of those things that you want to be you want to pay attention to. Okay, what I want to get at here on the 4-hour time frame is that everything's truly bullish. Money flow index is extremely high. When the money flow index is higher than the RSI, that's an insanely good situation. Okay, we always got to respect that. It's the same thing with the inverse too, where just say the RSI is coming down to like 30, and then you got a money flow index really low down here. It's more likely the price is going to recover because of that. Okay, because again, when money is flowing out of a coin, it's more of a sell signal. When money is flowing in, it's more of a buy signal. Okay, now is it overextended now? Do we want to get in? Let's talk about that. Well, TD sequential tells us we are at a 9 plus 3. Okay, so we've basically gone 12 hours into overtime here in this continuation. And if you look at Near Protocol's history, we don't see a lot of 9s. And if there are any 9s, it does turn itself around a little bit. There's a 9 there, pulls back. Here's an 8 here, comes up. So the common theme here is when we hit an 8, 9, or more, the price will go the opposite direction. Okay, so you got to keep in mind there is potential for the price to pull back, and if so, these are the levels we want to focus on just to give you perspective on what that looks like. Okay, again, heaven forbid the price pulls back. $2.61 would be the first retracement area at 0.382. 0.5 is $2.50, and of course 0.618 would be 240. So we got this 240, 250, 260 range basically. Now 0.5 is the most common because, again, it typically aligns itself with the most recent high. You can kind of see that there. So if the price does pull back, that would be a sensible place for a retracement. Keep in mind in this scenario here, we are potentially in our fifth and final wave for Near Protocol. So if this is the top and the price does pull back here, we will probably see an ABC pattern for a lower low and a lower high to follow. Okay. So again, that's just generally some theory. That's exactly why Elliott Wave is called a theory, because it's not 100%, but it's again a larger statistical probability that these things will occur. Now, is the price going to continue higher from here? That's also a distinct possibility, but is it a probability? Let's find out. Let's take a quick look at the Ichimoku cloud and kind of see here, all green lights on, confirming that the whatever long position you have open, you should keep it open. There's no reason to close it. Now, what I recommend in situations like this, and again, I talk about this in my signals guide too, is taking profit and how to consider taking profit. You want to adjust your stop loss higher with every trade, and you want to ensure that you're taking more than, somewhere in the range of 65 to 80% profit in the first couple of targets. And if you're not setting multiple targets, you're probably doing it wrong. Again, there's no discredit on anybody who jumps in and jumps out 100%. It's just that that's probably a bit better of a strategy on a day trade than it would be a swing trade. And you want to make sure that you consider leaving your position open so the price will continue to run and you have some skin in the game, right? So in this case, we've taken 80, 90% profit on our target already, and we're waiting for the last little bit to just go ahead and hit, or for it to move back down to the break-even stop loss. If we hit the stop loss, we've already taken a chunk of change out of the equation, and there's no reason to lose any money on this trade. Okay, again, consider something like that. Do not get super greedy. People start watching too many other, I don't know if you want to call them influencers, or just, Twitter feeds where they're just boasting about how amazing their trades are, but they're never sharing with you their losses. But more importantly, that with the high leverage comes high risk, and you got to stay in profit somehow. Okay, so just some friendly advice there. All right, so last thing we want to talk about here is TD sequential. We hit a 9. We've hit our second 9 in a row, if you will, plus overtime. So we got an 8 here, consolidated period. That's roughly where we took entry. Price pulls up to another 9 here, and then we continued higher. So we're at a 1, 2, 3, 4. We're a bit over an overtime, but again, we're getting these nice little resets too. So I would speculate we could very well see the price continue further up. But me personally, I wouldn't consider a long position right now, just because Bitcoin might be due for a bit of a correction, and if so, Near Protocol would also correct itself. But that's also the great thing about Near Protocol. It did not correct itself massively yesterday when Bitcoin pulled back, and that's a kind of a sign that gave me confirmation that this coin's going places, and we have to get into this trade as soon as possible. Okay, so again, a lot of different strategies, but we can tell that Near Protocol is very strong right now, and if Bitcoin pulls back, it may retrace to some of these lower levels here, but it may not pull back that hard. Okay, again, so there's some friendly advice there. Last but not least, make sure you double check here, and because we have a new partnership with Bitunix, phenomenal exchange, only because we have KYC and VPN requirements across the board for a lot of good exchanges we've used in the past. So Bitget and BingX, for example, BingX is VPN required, soon to KYC. This exchange doesn't require that, and they're tremendously better too. Trailing stop losses, multiple targets, a lot of cool stuff there. Be sure to check that out. We have a Bitunix section in our Discord, and that is a phenomenal option for you to kind of learn as much as you can. So check that out, of course. Take advantage of that exclusive offer, and I hope you have a great rest of your day. I deeply appreciate your time. We'll see you in the next one. Take care.